How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you, man?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for joining me today and answering some of my questions about how you felt working with me and the impact that it made on your life. So when you first reached out to me, where were you in life and how did you feel?
So when I first came across you, I'd been suffering from pretty low moods.
Mm-hmm.
I was worrying a lot, constantly worrying about the future, about the past. So I had a bit of anxiety. I felt like I lacked motivation. I struggled with self-confidence,
Yeah,
and I felt like I didn't deserve to be happy.
that
I
was a
used to
big one
always
for you, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It definitely was. And I also used to struggle getting out of bed in the mornings. I just felt like, looking back now, um, I just didn't have a desire to face my day.
Yeah. So now, having gone through all that we have, because we actually only have 2 sessions together, it was a 12-week program.
Yeah.
Um, how do you feel now?
So honestly, and when it's so difficult to put it into words. I've had these kind of light bulb moments and little bits
Yeah,
of inspiration throughout my time with you, and I've kind of been letting when
as
all
we've
those.
gone along.
Yeah.
I will never
Just
forget, and I think I'll always use, it was the second session, and you said, is this actually going to work?
Yeah,
It's like, yeah.
because I remember thinking, right, I know why I've signed up, but I think I was just really, is this really gonna, like, am I gonna come out completely transformed? Because
So
when you go
how
in,
would
you're like,
you now answer that question yourself?
oh, I'm a lot happier. I do feel like I have undergone such a major transformation. Like, I'm happier. I don't have that fear of judgment that I used to have. A lot more confident in myself, and I feel deserving and worthy. And I've realised that my capabilities, and I realised that I have got potential.
Yeah,
And I've also started showing myself some love, which was like, people always talk
definitely.
about love, and I always thought, what is self love? Okay, it's like telling yourself you love yourself. But honestly, just going through this journey, it wasn't a case of telling myself, I've just started feeling it.
And I think it was little things for you, wasn't it? You've been making small but consistent
Yeah,
progress, and that's what I
definitely.
always say. So it's like one week you're like, I think I'm going to go for a walk after this,
Yeah.
and then you
And
just stuck to it.
yeah. And then I started starting doing the smoothies, and I said, right, I'm gonna make a little change. I want to introduce more fruit and veg. So into my diet, I'm gonna have smoothies in the mornings. And I've been doing that every morning for since we first started. So it's been
Which
like,
will be a few weeks now,
yeah.
definitely.
Um,
So that brings me on to my next question. Actually, I was
mhm.
going to say, how does the work that we've done together on your confidence had an effect on other parts in your life?
So like, in terms of I mentioned getting up out of bed in the mornings was always a struggle, and this is no lie, I'm the first one up in the house now. The alarm goes up even before my husband, and even he's really, really surprised.
Love it.
And in terms of, like, my husband's always been really supportive of me, but I've noticed he's happier because he's seeing that I'm happier. So it's
Oh,
had that kind of ripple effect as well. And I'm taking more care of myself, and I find that I'm a lot more in tune with my emotions, which I wasn't. I think I was all over the place before, but now I've got a lot
you.
more awareness.
I remember the first call we had when we were just like, you were just exploring what this was and if it was for
Yeah,
you, and you're like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna cry, and I was like, it's okay, like
yeah,
that's what I'm here for, it's fine. And you're like, it
yeah.
just happens all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's really crazy because now I just find that just stopping and bringing awareness to how I'm
Mm.
feeling, and then acknowledging it, that's just been completely game changing. It just,
I mean, you're like a dream client because you've just said, within this conversation, you've said the 3 things that I always bang on about: consistency, acknowledgement, and awareness.
yeah. And honestly, it's crazy because it's just happening without even putting any thought into it.
Yeah.
So all these changes are like you said, that it's like a ripple effect where things are happening without even putting a lot of energy into it. They're just happening.
And I think you felt a bit more of a connection spiritually as well, haven't you?
Yes, I did. Because I've always been, I wouldn't say I'm religious, but I do believe in my faith. I do believe, the higher being, like God, the universe. I tend to use, the two interchangeably, but I just felt like I'd lost that connection. So, I listened to prayers, but I felt like I wasn't always really there. I just put them on, but I'm finding that I almost feel like, the universe is like talking back to me, and I'm getting that connection.
Yeah.
So it's been really good.
So what would you say is your biggest takeaway from the work we've done, or what has made the most impact on you so far?
So I think my biggest takeaway was that all of the fears that held me back from living my full potential were just my limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
And those that were instilled since childhood, and that those beliefs don't define me, and that's all they are. They're just limiting beliefs.
They're just it's as simple as that. They're just beliefs.
Yeah.
But like, I think this work's difficult to do by yourself. You need somebody with you to do it with you.
Because I did mention to you that I'd done I'd read self-development books, because I was really into all that mindset stuff, and I'd find it really interesting and intriguing. I'd read all the books, listen to all the podcasts, and although they were telling me what to do, it just wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And I think now I fully get it. Like now I think I can take all of that on board now that I've undergone this work with you.
And it helps, it adds on to it.
Yeah.
But you also had counselling as well. How do you find this different to counselling?
So with counselling, that was more for like the anxiety. Like I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder purely because of all the worries. And I think that was more like talking therapy. So you talked through how you felt. And I suppose with you doing this this course with you, it's given me, like, you've given me the tools on how to kind of
Change it.
how to navigate my journey. And with the counselling, I didn't really get that. So it's more about just
And for anyone that's thinking of working with me, or maybe like borderline on the cusp, shall I not, what would you say to them?
So I would say, if you're on the fence, just go for it. Just simple as just go for it, because it's the best investment you will ever make in yourself, and you honestly do deserve to make that investment in yourself. And Umma's been so lovely to work with. She's been so lovely, and she's just got this really, really good energy, and she's been so supportive. I just wish I'd come across her sooner, but I'm glad I did.
Divine timing, remember, Hardy, divine timing. It wasn't meant for you sooner, it was meant now. But that's amazing, and thank you so much. So, and I think you hit the nail on the head then. You make the investment for yourself, because often that's what people struggle with, and it's like, you don't want to spend the money just on yourself. What about the family? What about this? What about that? But you've just shown and said that how much of an effect it's having on the rest of your life and on your family as well.
Yeah, and it's like, you'd easily go out and spend money on, like, takeaways, on like bags and shoes and clothes, and like, I think like this is probably like spending money on yourself, and like, it's just, for me, it's been game changing. Honestly, it's actually improved my relationship with money by spending money on this.
That's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that, and thank you so much for taking the time out to be interviewed by me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.